चेक करके 9000 कर सा
ओहो।
followed up the short and wide one with the overcorrection to too full, too straight. Almost felt like Ayub saw him, was waiting for that overcorrection. In position early, high right elbow, provide the guidance. Find that gap. And I like that. 2 consecutive boundaries. The next ball played on its merit. Nice straight back, solid defensive shot. I see that. It always feels like the batsman's telling me he's here to score big runs. Doesn't want to fill a highlights package with 3 or 4 or 5 boundaries. He wants to construct an innings, play the ball to its merits, build a partnership.
Right from that over, 6 gone is 36 for none.
Sells nine and cut के those. Brush arrow, brush arrow, brush arrow, brush arrow dinara.
Sensodyne kicks in the Masbuti Casas Patrol.
Cavities tool pakai. Away is strong. I'm a cookie curry, I'm giggle all day long. Sensodyne and cut के those.
Salah really had needed to do much. He's been looking in very good touch. So first boundary short from ZOHAIB Ali, and that was the slip just being removed. To pull down the ground and square up the wicket. Beautiful is a word. He makes you overuse this young man.
Yeah, I think I alluded to it earlier, but there's a balance and a poise to the way that he's playing. Looks like he's had a lot of time. It's a sign of a good player, a top player in fact. They just seem to have a little bit more time than the other players have. And he's looked unfazed so far today. Really, his shot selection has been exemplary.
It's a drop chance. Blessing him, ZOHAIB Ali. He's managed to create an opportunity, and Sean Williams had to drive a long way to his weaker side, to his right side, and could not hold on to that one.
On the up from Shafiq, and that's a tremendous effort. That goes down as half a chance for me. Made it a chance, moved well to his right, got down, and one of those catches, like you said, to his right hand, his weaker side, either sticks or it doesn't. Gave himself a chance though to get a hand on it.
What a response from Shafiq Abdallah. This is on the up. Not a bad delivery, but he's gotten on top of it and smashed it to the boundary.
Yeah, that's the difference between this one and the previous shot that almost cost him his wicket. Got on top of the bounce with this shot. Crowder with the left elbow higher, top of the bounce, hit it into the ground, and away she goes.
चली कौन सी $10 ये 10
Done. Going in
10 रुपए
to 6 runs and over. 28 for 23 has really dominated this power play.
Hey Rana.
But if as a bowler you keep on providing plenty of romance on the off stump, you defeat the purpose.
3:45.
I get the idea is to bowl as straight as possible, and that's why fine leg stays back. Then there's a square leg on the left of the square leg umpire, and then there's a mid wicket and a mid on. I just find with Trevor Kwandu, he's looking for consistency, and he struggled through the offside.
जाने तो देश ना ये क्या था कोई देख ले यार
So he hits the deck on that occasion. He'll bring the
उसके
slipper
होते हैं
into play.
कि 10-15 बैठे हो
A change of strike, so Shafiq will be on strike. I just thought that more likely you wanted to get the batter to hit down the ground rather than hit the square of the wicket.
उसका लाइक 70 आता है 70
And especially on a pitch
70
like this, which hasn't got much to offer to the seam bowlers. You need to be stickler as far as liner length is concerned.
As he fielded, won't stop the run though. It'll bring up the 50 and it'll bring up the 50 partnership as well. After 8 is 50 without loss.
अब कोका कोला की 2 लीटर बॉटल सिर्फ 220 रुपए में। खाना बनाए मैजिकल कोका कोला के साथ।
जैज़ के पास हर नीड का हल है। बस *699# मिलाओ और अपने लिए खास बनाए हुए पैकेज को अपनी सुपर पावर बनाओ।
Run partnership between these two. It's their 3rd in 6 matches. At the top of the order for Pakistan. So Pakistan is finding perhaps what could be their opening pair. Must remind you, Baba Azam is not here. So a start like this really then allows you to really set up your middle order alongside Rizwan and Azam.
Ideal situation for Abdullah Shafiq to regain some confidence and get some rhythm back into his batting. The situation is not challenging, and also the conditions. You can afford to anchor at the crease. You can eat up as many deliveries you want to. Such is the situation.
Yeah, spot on. I think situationally, it just allows them and him himself maybe to find some form. Time out in the middle. Doesn't have to overly express himself. If they were chasing 320 and he was batting in this fashion, then you can critique his scoring options and his scoring patterns, and that's where the pressure comes in. But it's an ideal situation here to get some runs underneath his belt.
Not timed it well, but still managed to have the ball into the gap for a couple of runs. Yeah, talking about a situation where 300 runs were required. The way he's batting, eyebrows. Eyebrows would have moved and moved frequently.
I think that will come. When those pressure situation comes, you know what? 14 off 23 need to be converted to perhaps 30 or 23. I will ask you the question, perhaps, does he have it in the wheelhouse to take the game to the bowlers? Does he have that aggressive nature? And remember, aggression is not smashing it all over the place. It's about picking gaps. He looks a very classical batter.
Yeah, he does have. You know, he has proved it time and again. I remember that chase of Pakistani team in Sri Lanka, where he was phenomenal, batted for a long period. And he was instrumental to win the test match for Pakistan. It was a famous victory. And then, even in PSL, I've seen him scoring runs briskly. But just because he's short in runs, That's why he's short of confidence. But it is very good on the part of the selectors. They believe in his ability. They are sticking with him, affording him a lot of time to regain his confidence and form.
शीटें कौन सी चाहिए शीटें कौन सी
Strike rate of 131 in T20.
हैं
So he has it. He's got the
कौन
ability
से
to just put
पेपर
the
है
foot down on the pedal when he needs to.
वो नहीं
Oh,
कौन से वो मैं एक तो पेपर
like
शीट
this
भी
is
होती है
when,
ना
I don't know if it has all the legs to get there.
हाँ
Oh, yes, it does.
क्रिकेट भरनी है क्यों
Beautiful shot to end the ninth over here. It's 57 on Carlos.
इस मैजिकल ऑफर को जाने ना दें। अब कोका कोला की 2 लीटर बोतल सिर्फ 220 रुपए में। खाना बनाए मैजिकल कोका कोला के साथ।
एक जरूरत चाहिए
A better start for Pakistan at the top of the innings. Previous game, there was 60 for 6. That came about to the spinners from Zimbabwe and also Musarabani.
He's batting beautifully, showing the awareness of where the gaps are. Every time he has hit the ball, he has made sure it goes into the gap. Picks up another boundary, Saimayu.
Things I saw about him. Oh, that's a great top there. Liverpool at top of the league. 8 points ahead of everybody else. Yeah, but just what I watched about Sam Ayoub when I saw him in a little bit of Australian games is that he looked to take the bowlers on. But you see some of the shots he's played today, absolutely stunning.
You know what's encouraging when you talk about Saim Ayub? He's more patient now. Earlier on, intemperate style of batting was his downfall. What he does well now, at times, he leaves few strokes in the dressing room, in his cricket bag, and bring those strokes which are suitable for the conditions and also the bowling attack. And that's why he's getting there. He's becoming a consistent batsman now. See, that stroke was indicative of the fact that the batsman is definitely struggling. It was dragged way short. Way short. Should have capitalized on that one.
Just talking about Australia, I had a conversation a few days ago with Aaron Finch, and I was looking at how Australia batted in that ODI series and then how they played in the test matches. And apparently, the last few seasons, in fact, in the last 10 years, look it up on that occasion. Missed field, it'll be a single. And I just thought about how good Pakistan were as a batting unit, even though the bowlers really did restrict Australia. But the Australian batters struggled more, and then they struggled more in the test match. And the conversation was, or the notion was, that the ball in the last 10 years has changed in Australia. The Kookaburra ball, where they've added more lacquer to it and made it a lot harder. And in fact, statistically, the batting averages have fallen by 10 runs, where the average for Australian domestic players was around 45, is now down to 35 in the last 10 years. Don't bowl there. No.
Oh,
Yeah, he got away.
right.
with similar kind of a delivery against Abdullah Shafiq.
Abar pani lane में
But the form Saim Ayub is enjoying at the moment, that was comfort food. Dispatched it with confidence for yet another boundary. Yeah, you know, we spoke about how thick the bats are nowadays. Even an outside edge or inside edge will earn you runs, and plenty of them. I think they have to think about changing either weight of the ball, and like you suggested, what happened in Australia, adding more liquor. Not liquor, lacquer. That's his signature stroke. Gets to 50 with that pickup stroke of his, which is often described as no-look shot.
Yeah, what a way to go to 50. 51 of 32 deliveries, striking at just under 160. And he's done it emphatically, hasn't he? 9 fours and 1 6. 42 runs in boundaries, and yeah, oh man, inside the line, help it on its way, all the way for 6. Oh, more runs, more runs. Yeah, I'm not sure that this one has all the timing that he wants, but it's a bigger part of the ground, and they'll pick up 3. At the end of the over, 71 without loss.
सेंसराइन रैपिड एक्शन सिर्फ 60 सेकंड्स में आराम देता है। मैं रेकमेंड करती हूँ सेंसराइन रैपिड एक्शन का रोजाना बाकायदगी से इस्तेमाल। पेशेंट्स वापस आके बताते हैं इट वर्क्स।
जैज के पास हर नीड का हल है, बस *699# मिलाओ और अपने लिए खास बनाए हुए पैकेज को अपनी सुपर पावर बनाओ।
Brilliant start for the Pakistan in this run chase of theirs. Umpire signaling. Power play is completed, and here's the comparison. Pakistan looks about there. Bowling change, Sikandar Raza. And talk about Saim Ayub, he's the first one who has scored a 50 in this series so far. And throughout the morning, it was dinned into my ear that how good this surface is for the batters.
It is good. He's just showing you how good it is. Think about the second and then decide against it. I think it is a good surface. Just to finish on my point, and also talk about surfaces and how players go about their work. Australian batters have not been able to adjust to a ball that stays harder for longer, gets a bit more shine on it, and now it's reflective of what's happening in their domestic cricket. And also what we've seen, how good India adjusted, because India has been to South Africa on a number of occasions where the surfaces there have challenged them at the Wanderers, and most recently in Cape Town, where the game was done in just under 2 days. Or just over 2 days, where the surface offered so much for the bowlers. And I find that quite remarkable that a touring side can almost outbat another opposition in their home conditions, mainly due to maybe technical flaws. Not that they're not good players.
If you're technically deficient, you will struggle against quality bowlers. That's for sure. They're talking about Kukubra ball and the other balls which are used in international cricket. They have different behaviors. When you talk about Dukes, it has a profound seam, does offer more to the bowlers than there is a ball used in India. SG ball, swept into the gap, another boundary for Saim Ayub. Yeah, going back to the point. Now they have different behaviors, and these balls, SG or Dukes or Readers, they swing a lot in the air, and also there is seam movement as opposed to Coco Pro. Maybe that changing or adding more lacquer or pronouncing the seam has brought more for the bowlers.
Come back with a different angle here. I wanted to hear your thoughts. What was the most difficult place to bat for you when the ball moved around? I know it's the final delivery. We'll probably carry it into the next over.
Well, it's difficult for the batters wherever it does move around. But yeah, at times, New Zealand, at times you got tacky wickets or green dot wickets where there was more for the bowlers. And some venues in England as well, where bowlers have developed affinity and they purchase more there.
End of the over. It's 80 for no loss. Wow.
Since 9 and but ये दोस्त. Brush karo, brush karo, brush karo, brush karo dinara.
Sensor time, kids se mile. Must be casa, acha, prima.
Cavities दूर भगाए. हुए है strong.
हम खुल के करें हम giggle all day long. Brush karo, brush karo, brush karo.
Since 9 and but ये दोस्त.
Was tentative, but the moment he drove the ball down the ground, he gained in confidence. And then there was no stopping. Got to 60 in no time.
Brandon Maputa, the leg spinner from my neck of the woods as well. Into the attack from the airport end. Oh, loosener. Into the attack now for the young leg spinner who's been knocking on the door for a while to get into the national side. Yeah, just to finish our conversation about the moving ball and how much it's moved, how less it's moved and starting to move more, and where the batters are now thinking, well, what are the adjustments we make? But I have the feeling you sort of take a leaf out of Joe Root's book in that in all conditions, he seems to do really well. It doesn't matter whether he's in the West Indies or he's in India or Sri Lanka or Pakistan recently, in Zimbabwe, Australia, he seems to score runs, whether you're playing against the SG ball, the Duke ball, or the Kookaburra ball.
You need to have a good technique, solid technique.
So that's the answer for me, Amir, is that as much as all these changes happen to the game and to the ball, the questions are answered by having a solid technique. In all formats, even the foundations of T20 cricket now, is that if you have a solid base and a good technique, you can dominate bowlers.
Yeah, we all know that batting has evolved. There is no doubt about it. One would have not thought about playing a reverse sweep or a ram shot in the 70s or 80s. Technique was the most important thing. That was the focus. But coming back to the point, whether the batting has evolved or not, the basics remain the same. And if you haven't got the basics right, you will struggle. On your day, you'll get runs, but you'll be exposed very quickly.
100%. Final delivery. The shot will catch it. I think someone's going to have to catch it out the ground. Beautiful, effortless shot. Just want to confirm, just keeping my eye on Michael Collins. See where the ball has landed, and he's got confirmation from the fielder. It goes for 6, ends the 12. It's 90 without loss.
सेंसराइन रैपिड एक्शन सिर्फ 60 सेकंड्स में आराम देता है। मैं रेकमेंड करती हूँ सेंसराइन रैपिड एक्शन का रोजाना बाकायदगी से इस्तेमाल। पेशेंट्स वापस आके बताते हैं इट वर्क्स।
जैस के पास हर नीड का हल है, बस *699# मिलाओ और अपने लिए खास बनाए हुए पैकेज को अपनी सुपर पावर बनाओ।
अब कोका कोला की 2 लीटर बोतल सिर्फ 220 रुपए में। खाना बनाए मैजिकल कोका कोला के साथ।
Manhattan. The run rate of 7.5.
किधर लगती किराए पर किधर लगना आले बुन रगड़ाई उसी गाले बाद निकले अरे पूरी चिप्स खराब ही जोसी जल्दी तब जुमाना सप्लाई पानी किधर किसी इस रुमाना हां गटर खुलना सी हां कोई नहीं होना खाली पत्ती बैठान चलाए रे बैठाना ही है बस खाली अंदर कार क्या आना था ऐसे ही है